This is Rob Howden, the voice of the Mazda Road to Indy, and you're listening to the Indy Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indy Sports Car Podcast. What's up, Christian?
Hey.
Mike?
That's my version of Missy's hello.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody? So, yep, Christian and Mike are here tonight with me. Missy's unavailable for the week. She's on vacation. So, you gotta get a week's vacation, and after this season of MRTI, she's all burned out.
That's okay. Bless
Understandable.
Yeah. So, I mean, some people can't hang. No, I'm kidding. But thankfully, Christian and Mike, always available to come on, and just want to thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so
Did you just basically say we have no lives? I felt like that's what you were trying to say.
Yeah, we don't get vacation.
He's like, Christian and Mike, always available, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
They're never doing anything, right?
I've been proving it every week. So, moving on. I'm kidding. Hey, it's fun, it's just fun to do this. So, so the MRTI season is over. I can't believe it already. The season flew by. We got one more race. Goodness gracious, what are we going to talk? I think we should start at that, USF and work our way up to Indycar. And that's it. I mean, an F1 race did take place last weekend. Did anybody watch it?
I watched the opening lap.
That's all you really need to watch. I mean,
that counts. Yep. Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, that's the only really exciting part of Formula One is the starts. Everybody, funneling into turn one. Normally, Kvyat hits somebody. Or Kvyat, I'm sorry. God, I cannot say Russian names right. But anyway, I didn't really say it. I saw the first lap.
It was one of those things that I just happened to be up early and figured, no, let me tune in for the first lap, and then the first lap ended, and I went, okay, let me go about the rest of my day until Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting up early as, whatever, at a hotel, like 45 minutes away from Watkins Glen, whatever, and getting there at 7 so we could watch the, last Pro Mazda race at 7:45 in the freaking morning. Oh my God. It started so early, I don't understand it, but we'll get to that, though. But, so, basically, Watkins Glen, I don't understand this format at all. Only Pro Mazda had 2 races. USF and Indy Lights only had 1. I think everybody should have 2. Pro Mazda should have 3, personally. I mean, you get the teams, and you get everybody to show up for 1 half-hour race,
right?
And that decides the championship? What?
I can't argue that. Can't argue.
It was. I did not. It's never been like that at Laguna Seca. It was always a 2 and a 3. I remember for the last couple of years. But then again, Pro Mazda's season was longer too. So they got the 2 races instead of 1. It just doesn't make any sense. Dude, they had plenty of time. They were the only series there. It was MX5 was there too. The series that's actually also in MRTI, but nobody really cares about because it doesn't transfer over at all to open wheel racing at all. So I don't. I mean, it's just a Mazda thing. I think.
Yeah.
It's like a little Mazda, cookie that they extended out. Like, here, you guys can race with us, I guess. I mean, we're here, so. But again, their races are a half hour long. Their practices are half hour long. That's all, and they get one. So it's like, and I couldn't tell you who's in the who's. I mean, I don't care. Does anybody else watch it? They don't even stream them. I mean, you don't hear anything about them.
About the MX5 Cup, yeah.
No,
Um,
nothing.
I watch the
Yeah.
YouTube highlights from time to time.
Where do you get those
Yeah.
at?
As some fans put them up on YouTube. And
That's what I mean. Like you got to get like self-made videos of it just to see it. It's ridiculous. But and it's not like the champion of that goes to USF or anything.
Right, right.
So where's the ladder for them? I mean, where are they going after MX5?
I think it's a
Sports car.
I think it's a standalone thing, but if you look at the roster, a lot of those guys have been there for years. I don't think there is any intention of anybody in that series to ascend to anything else. It's kind of its own thing.
So it's kind of the top of its own thing.
Yeah, basically.
But there's no beginning to that though. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna jump in this Mazda now and call it a day. It's like it's like going to Formula One right away.
Well, because you had the. Well,
okay,
I mean, because you
talk
you
yourself
got the
out of this
SCCA
corner.
Pro Series.
What?
No. I'm just saying. I mean, you've got the SCCA Pro Series, MX5. Then you've got this, so it's just a it's just one of those things. There's nothing really to send to. Well, essentially,
IMSA, right?
your MX5 is a sports car.
Yeah,
So,
so you would go to like IMSA, right? Or
Yeah,
or like Conti maybe.
So
But
it could
they're
be
not
used as
associated
a
at
spring.
all. You know?
No.
I mean, the only thing they get out of it is here's my footage from me being in a sports car to prove it, I suppose. Here's my data from it, but that's it. I mean, how do you get noticed that way?
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, except for GTD, there's really no other, team
Well,
really.
it may not even be about that. I mean, behind the way the series is set up, it may just be a way for Mazda to sell more Miatas.
That's exactly what it's about.
So and that's okay, and that's okay too.
It's for Mazda it's for Mazda to cut back on all the track fees. Because hey, we're already here. We're already paying for these 3 series, so
Right.
we'll throw
And
it
one more.
exactly.
Yeah. Split the bill with them. So yeah, I get it. But yeah, so.
Okay, so yeah, and that was the most MX5 talk anybody's has ever done on a podcast ever. There you go. But
should be
let's talk
paid for
about
that.
USF 2000. I can't believe it. It's a miracle. Oliver Askew won the championship. I'm blown away. I didn't see it coming. Since I don't know, Long Beach. since he won every race up to then, except for the first one that Robert McGinnis won. Like, I think I asked Robert McGinnis at the NGP. I'm like, what's been your best accomplishment this year? I'm the only one here that's beaten Oliver this year. He's funny, man. Yeah.
And then no, tremendous driving by him all year. Super consistent and
Out of nowhere, awesome dude. Great driver. I mean, dude's got natural talent.
Yeah, he's got a bright future ahead.
Hell yeah. And because all year he would just be like stone faced, deadpan. He's been on the show 4 times now, I think. And we got to know him pretty good. And he hasn't.
Yeah.
He did not let this season get to him at all. He acted like he wasn't even doing it. To be honest, and I was asking him like, do you understand what you've done already? That doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen in USF. I'm sorry, it doesn't. USF normally is a bunch of different winners, and it starts to thin out, I guess, towards Mid Ohio. But this season was over after the Indy GP,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was pretty obvious
But
he was going to win.
it's probably best for him to operate out of that place.
Well,
It's
he
the
only
minute you
started
start
like 4
putting
years ago,
pressure on
4 or
it,
5 years
well,
ago,
the minute
right?
people start mentioning it is when pressure comes.
Well, I'm saying
And
he was as cool as a cucumber as you could be for somebody who was winning a lot of USF races that normally a lot of different winners win, or different
yeah,
drivers would win, like during the season. Just saying, you know. I mean,
I hope he can
he was
in
with
that
Cape,
headspace.
so Cape's only won the last 7, so now that's
Right. I
eight,
mean,
8 in a row, 8 years in a
yeah,
row. Cape's won.
they've got the equipment.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure. So, I mean, it's an obvious win when you put a talented driver with capable equipment.
that's
Um,
true. I mean, and I mean, we saw Renus VK like kind of come alive towards the end there. He's definitely got a bright future in USF. What Parker Thompson did with exclusive Autosport is just beyond amazing. What he did. I mean, Luke Gavin by Road America, he was gone. I don't remember his other teammate that was gone by then too. But they were a new team. Never
mhm.
never really done. I mean, Jay Green's first time. He's not a team owner. He's just an engineer now. So, but they had Parker Thompson, which was pretty much the game changer, and he was able
Engineer
to
of the year.
sweep. Yeah, he was able to sweep Toronto. He was the only driver the entire year that was able to best Oliver throughout the entire event. Right,
Mhm.
and then Mid Ohio, I would say beat him, taking a second and a first when Oliver took a fourth and a first, I think. Or no, I'm sorry. He got a DNF in one of the races and then won the other one. But my point being is, what Parker's been able to do with a new team, just kind of, and he did win the F1600 Canadian championship. So
Just to follow up on that, Dev Gore and Jason Clooney were the other USF 2000 exclusive Autosport drivers.
thank you, Clooney. That's what it was. And didn't he end up someplace else? I think towards the end of
Um,
the or no, I don't remember. Um, all I know is like I remember the one at Road America. I remember the most. Like Parker was the only one there racing because there was a lot of drivers that weren't racing that race that should have been too. At least 3 of them were in the top 10 at points. So, but in the end, I mean, Oliver Askew, he was going to take the title. There was no doubt about it. And so, yeah, off on to Pro Mazda, and he gets to race the new PM18 now. So every series he races in, he's in a brand new car. He's kind of lucky because it's like he's he's a rookie coming into a series again, where everybody's on the same playing field instead of some veterans in the car and others that are rookies, because everybody's a
Right.
rookie in the new car. So he's got that advantage where he's on an even playing field with, I'm sure, the drivers that came like Nikita. Um, I mean, Dakota Dixon was supposed to be going there this year coming up. I don't know if he still will or not. I guess we'll see. But you
Yeah.
know, T.J. Fisher and basically like the Palfrey drivers, Um, so yeah, and and Carlos Cunha, which he really came alive at the end there. So they were all
Yeah.
pretty much, and Victor Franzoni and Anthony Martin, just amazing rivalry going on, just back and forth all
That
day.
was a hell of a couple races to watch.
Tell me about it. Like Road America Race 2, I'm still saying is the race of the year right now. Still.
Yeah.
So, but don't want to leave USF too fast here, because there's other names to I mean McGinnis and Kalen Frederick, man, 15. He turned 16 during the season, and he was on the podium almost every single race there. I mean, a lot of the races he podiumed.
Yep, he had 9 top 5 finishes and 12 top 10 finishes in 14 races.
I mean, that's
not bad. Not bad.
Very respectable. Very respectable.
Agreed.
So, don't want to leave him out. I mean, there was a lot of good, there wasn't a bad driver in USF this year, and we were talking about last year how deep the talent was in the
Well, I don't know
USF.
about that.
Okay, well, name a driver in USF that's not talented. There were,
I'm not going to go ahead and do that because I'm there next year, Frank. I'm not.
Another loaded question.
We can talk about that offline, but
Frank, you just did the equivalent of a quarterback throwing a pass to a receiver in the perfect spot for him to get decapitated.
Why you keep throwing it over the middle to me, Frank? So, Wes Walker. Well, Christian's my Wes Walker.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm always giving you loaded questions that you gotta go.
Yeah, you are,
dude.
Yeah, you are.
Anyways,
but I tell you what, though. Just to go back for a second, talking about Oliver moving up to the PM and it being an advantage. I think what's cool though about this year is that what he's done will actually translate over to Pro Mazda. Because you got to remember, Pro Mazda had a car that had nothing to do with the USF car. You know what I mean? We were still using the short shifters. We were still using all this antiquated technology. So what you learned basically in USF 2000 didn't really correlate, completely. So
having paddle shifters will.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's an advantage that we're seeing this year, and I'm glad that Oliver is the first person to kind of take advantage of that.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, if there was any year for him to come in as a rookie, it was this year.
This was the one. That's right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You guys think Parker will be back in USF or Pro Mazda next year?
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it like a. I don't know. I mean, I want it to happen, but. I really hope it happens. So.
I think I read an article that, the NBC guys wrote a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, that, he was a little unsure about the funding situation. So, I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, every driver in Mazda Road Indy says that if they don't win the championship,
I hope for the best for him.
Yeah, I mean that's why the championship really exists, and that's why all the talented drivers are coming here, is because of the, the incentives you get when you win. You're climbing up no matter what. That's awesome. I mean, there's no other ladder series that does it, and that's what's attracting all this great talent to MRTI. I mean, Oliver beat a lot of talented drivers this year,
Yeah,
but
he did.
But everybody was on a learning curve just like him. He just took advantage of it because he didn't know any better, in the first place.
Right.
Everybody else was so used to the Van Diemen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there you go.
Absolutely.
That's a great point, though. And I started it. Christian really caressed it and kind of made it I don't know, understandable. But I still started. I still started the thought, so I'm taking credit for that. Christian, thank you.
Hey, caressing is what I do.
You make me look good,
ladies. That's right. I do. I do make you look good, man.
Yes, you do.
That's not an easy job, but
Mike, you're slipping.
I get it done.
You're slipping on me, Mike.
Listen, I'm staying out of the way of any caressing going on in this conversation right now.
Don't get cheap on me, Watson. Anyway, all right. So, any other notables of USF 2000 other than Oliver Askew? Wow.
I thought. I mean, and I'm not just saying because we've hung out a little bit, but I thought Dakota did a great job before he was forced to take a seat.
He went over to Britain.
Over to F4. I thought while he was in those first few races, he did pretty well. So.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, and he had one heck of a deal set up too. I've never heard of that deal ever. Like that doesn't happen. Okay, you don't automatically get a deal where you're promised to move up no matter what you do. I mean,
Right.
oh, it was a shame to see him go, but you know, things happen. Of course, Missy spotted him in like we sit down in the bleachers, or stands, whatever you want to call them, down at turn 5, whatever. And Missy looks behind. She's like, "Yep, Dakota's like three rows back, 2 rows." I'm like, "How do you see these people?" Like, I wouldn't have recognized him, because he had his, sunglasses on, his hoodie up and everything, hat. I didn't recognize him at first, and then I'm yelling, "Dakota, Dakota!" and seeing if he would, whatever. So then I just texted him like, "Nice orange case on your phone," and he's like, "Huh?" It's bright orange. I don't know. It was noticeable. Yeah, so whatever. But I'm like,
yeah, I thought he drove pretty well.
Yeah, I thought so too. Well, he was in the top 10. Was he third? I think.
At a point, yeah, at a point he was.
No, I'm talking about like when he left. Going into Road America, he was third, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Fourth?
yeah.
Third? I know, third. Yeah, it was third. Luke was like 6th, and Ayla was like 8th, I think.
Something like that.
And Road America, yeah, and they're the 3 top 10 that didn't race that weekend, and we haven't seen Luke back since. But Ayla came back a few for Toronto, I think.
It's this money thing, man.
Mid Ohio, yeah. Tell me about it, right? Dude, I mean, I wouldn't know. I work.
Thinking of selling the kidney.
Dude, you'd need to. I mean, dude.
At this point, no, honestly,
with the USF 17 and Toronto, one car, it's $300K. Boom.
Right.
You want 300K. Yep. That's a dude. Pro Mazda, they made it cheap this year. What was it, like $550 ish for Pro Mazda? And then what?
Yeah,
and
around
lights
there.
is about 1.5, I think. Right.
The lowest I heard for the PM was like 400,000 from Leading Edge GP.
Okay.
That team, yeah, they were, and that was just like a bare bones kind of operation.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like Fat Boy, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the cheapest you can get into a PM car, but it's
that's a lot of money. Wow.
It is a lot of money, man. I think that
it's about 7-year salary, I'd say, 6-year salary.
Yeah,
give or take. Yeah, that's it. For and promo, and they shorten their season too. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, buy all the
equipment. But I mean, IndyCar is doing us a big
time.
favor by streaming the races on the fan page, because I know that was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
just.
Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like exactly, Christian. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they're Pro Mazda, USF, Indy Lights, but getting a lot more, just a lot more like attention. IndyCar streaming everything,
which is great.
And it's awesome, and then there's a lot of people watching it at any event. So and it's not Road Atlanta Saturday and Sunday's crowd was really hard to differentiate if it was bigger or not. Like, it was definitely bigger Sunday, but not by much.
Right.
To be honest. And most events, I kind of noticed that, Gateway was the biggest crowd for an oval. IndyCars, I was great to see, but that was IndyCar. Pro Mazda and Indy Lights raced there, and they raced probably like 4 hours before that race even happened, so none of the fans got to see them race. But it was a shame. They were good races, but I was so happy to see that entire grandstand filled to the brim. It was awesome to see. Mm-hmm. Gateway was a huge success, I think. But we're not there yet. Yeah, we tend to jump to different. we do tend to jump series here.
We?
No, me.
We?
I said me.
Thank
I
you
said
for
me.
fixing that.
Yes.
We?
I said me.
We? Okay.
Usually, Missy's there like Frank Promaza. Stay focused. All right, so Franzoni
That's
won.
Mike's. That's Mike's job. That's Mike's
Yeah,
job.
Mike.
So,
Mikey.
I'm sorry, I'm not a good woman.
No.
you had one job. You had one job,
Yeah,
Mike.
keep me on
Be
track.
a woman.
Dude.
You had one.
Wrangle me.
Be a woman. You had one job, Mike.
I need a handler in these shows. Mike, you're my handler this week. It's usually Missy's job. And he's like, I need a vacation from handling you. It's enough. We've been to 9 races already this year. Well, we went to 9 races this year, I should say, since it's pretty much over.
Did you, man? Awesome.
Yeah, I think we did 8 last year, so we went because Gateway. Yeah, so 1 extra this year. So, and it was like weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend. Driving here, driving there. It's a lot of driving. So, but yeah, man, it was exhausting to be honest. Yeah.
So pro Mazda.
Right on. Franzoni won it in a rain race at an ungodly early hour for no reason at all, because it's not like other races were pressing to go. I don't think there was another race for 2 hours after theirs, but yeah, 7:45. Why not? So anyway, he won. But here's a big surprise. He's probably more than likely hopping into Kaiser's car next year for a Juncos. Go figure that one. Didn't see that coming at all. Next year for Franzoni into Indy Lights. I really hope Anthony Martin can find funding to follow him, because that rivalry needs to keep on going for like the next decade.
Yeah, man, that's and what a blessing that is, though. To be honest, man, to have a rival, it pushes you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Well, I mean, Pro Mazda was probably the closest racing, like one of the most exciting series out of the 4 this year. I mean, really rivaled Indycar. What do you think?
I'd agree with that.
Yep, without a doubt.
Right on. Exciting radio, guys. Everybody agrees. Okay. No controversy here. Really wanted Martin to win. Just going to say it. Sorry, Victor. You're a nice guy, but was really pushing for Anthony Martin. Yep. So, friend of the show. So, but yeah, like I said, hopefully Anthony falls on Indy Lights, and we already saw it. If Missy was here, she would have read off the list of people who finished or whatever. Mike. So, Mike.
Sorry, Missy.
Well, read a list, Mike. You pull it up, will you? You're killing me. I'm sending subtle hints. I'm now being very direct.
I like your subtle hints.
They sucked, I know. Obviously, they didn't get you. They didn't
No, not quite. Not quite.
So we got anything else in Pro Mazda? I mean, yeah, Martin finished second. Franzoni took it, and who third? I don't know. Yep. I don't know. Mike finished third.
Third was Carlos Cunha.
There you go. Okay, rock on. All right. So, any lights? Thank you, Mike. Did you pull up the list? I'm just wondering. Did you?
I actually am trying to pull up the list.
Oh, see,
And
Missy
I'm
would
having some
know
technical
exactly where it
difficulties.
is. See, that's the difference. Okay, so Clayman DeMello, was it in the lights this year? He thinks he's going to race in IndyCar next year. I think he's nuts. People are saying that Herta is ready. No, he's not.
No, not at all.
Nope. Santi, hey, I'll finish 11th in the championship, but I'm the best here. Sure you are. Why not? And Telitz wins, but Kaiser's crowned. So, this season was so weird. This was the weirdest Indy Lights season I've ever watched. There was nobody to really focus in on because there was really no. I mean, all of a sudden you were kind of told Kaiser was going to win it pretty much by Mid Ohio because if you did the math, I mean, but it's like he didn't. Where okay, I guess consistency really wins championships. Apparently,
It felt like to me, and I don't know if this is the right word, but it felt like a very uneventful season. Like you said, consistent, but there wasn't a lot of fight for the leader, fight for this. Herta jumped out early, but then he kind of faded, and from there it was Kaiser was just steady every race. There was never any real craziness after that.
no, yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, you see this? You see the points here? Nobody can catch him now. And it's like, well, what races did he win? I don't. Hard to remember. So, but right on. So, but Juncos will have 2 cars next year, hopefully in IndyCar. Kaiser's definitely going to be one of them. There's without a doubt. I think, at least for 3 races. But I'm sure. But with Juncos coming on and everything, I'm sure they'll be able to find funding, or he'll find funding somewhere. The thing with Santi, man, is like he is so close to having enough money to really actually come to IndyCar next year. And is he ready?
And you disagree with?
Do I just? Yeah. I don't think he's ready. I mean, he finished 10th in points in the Indy Lights. There's only 12 of them. I mean,
Wait, who are we talking about right now?
Santi.
Santiago Urusha.
Like
he is second in points this year.
Okay. At one point he was like 10th. But whatever. I mean, yeah, he the end of the year he came on pretty strong, I have to say. He won a lot of races at the end of the year.
The end of the year, the one name that stuck out to me, as I don't understand why, is Shelby Blackstock, because he kind of really, for the last few years, has just kind of hung around in that 9th to 10th spot every race, every standings.
4 years now.
Yeah.
Well, he started 5 years ago.
Yeah, he's a good Indy Lights driver, solid Indy Lights driver, but I just don't think he's the next level.
No, but it's like, will he ever be at this point? You think?
I doubt it. I don't think so.
I don't know. Christian? It's Indy Lights, man.
That's one of those.
You're not jumping in there next year. Come on.
No, but I've got other reasons.
Okay. So who do you go shoe shopping
you gotta
with
stop
in
throwing
Indy
it over
Lights?
the middle, man. You gotta stop throwing it over the middle, man.
I had to sub for Frank there and give you a Wes Welker.
Yeah, right. Leave it to Frank to.
And his head comes off. So
you got to hit me on the sidelines here. Don't throw it over the middle.
All right. So Clay and DeMello racing for Ray Hall. They just why? I mean, because they have the extra car and he paid enough for it, so he'll be able to show other teams what he can do in a car he's never.
Yeah.
They're not going to drive next year.
He got a sponsor who was willing to pay probably a good chunk. He's going to go out there and show, hey.
I wonder how much it would be for a Sonoma race. A couple $100,000 maybe? At least?
It has to be, yeah.
I'm not really sure myself, but for the last race, I don't know. I mean, but
yeah, they started saying a couple weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, that he was, in line for a ride at Sonoma, and I went, why in the hell? No, this is definitely a hoax, and it popped up today, and I went, okay. Yeah. So I'm interested to see how he does, but I hope he does decent so it can catch the attention of people. But I think if he got another year of Indy Lights seasoning, he could be in that top 2 or 3 next year.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he could even win a championship.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good driver.
He really is. Yeah. But I mean, okay. I mean, as far as Herta goes, I mean, you agree with me there. I'm not going to ask Christian.
No. You can ask me.
Can ask me Herta, is he ready?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wow, that was bold.
Oh, and
of you.
I well, hey,
I'm
hey,
kidding.
man.
I'm kidding, Wes. I'm
For
kidding,
me.
Wes.
No, for me, but no, I don't, and but the thing is, if you, what I find is, I mean, if you move up too quickly, it's going to show. It's going to show when you get up to the Horizon Series, and then you disappear. We kind of never see you again.
Well, and you gotta remember this new car that with the new Aero package on it.
Sage Karam.
It's not easy to drive apparently. What?
I'm sorry.
Sage Karam. Oh God. Hey, by the way, seen him in Pocono, right, dude? They had to be women's jeans. Had to be. They were so tight on them. Mike, you saw him, dude. They were painted on this dude. I was like, what the heck is he doing? He lost his mind.
I don't even know what to say.
I know. Wow. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he rifled through Missy's, closet and took out a pair of jeans that these will fit. I hope. Either way, I'm gonna rock it. And yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I always.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Christian.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, perfect example of somebody getting there, writing the check, getting there, and not being ready for it.
Well, he's a ditz, is what he was, and he still is, and he's just he has no racecraft whatsoever. He's just some people just don't have a high IQ, and his IQ is he's retreading tires, I guess, because I mean. It was Fontani didn't figure it out. Like, what are you doing, dude? You almost I can't say it. I almost said something. I almost said something really screwed up. Anyway, he's a ditz, is what he is. He's just dumb as a brick. He can race a car, but that it was like four wheels. And it's like, oh gosh. Yeah, it's racecraft, dummy. When you go through a tri-oval, you can't race somebody side by side and pinch them down. You can't. You got to give up. You have to give a little. To take a little. I mean, he would never back off. He's too aggressive. He was too aggressive of a driver to race an IndyCar. That's his problem, and he's perfect. And I mean, look what he's doing in IMSA and GTD in the slowest series in the freaking world.
He's getting in trouble every goddamn race.
Oh, Tandy wants to destroy. Oh my, he's on Twitter. He's fighting with Ray Hall, Tandy. It's a big social media thing now. I don't know, Christian, if you've seen it on Twitter, but Mike, you've seen it. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's they're posting instant messages back and forth of what Sage is saying. It's getting nasty.
It's time to make the popcorn and sit back and watch Sage self-destruct on Twitter once again.
Yep. And you know what? And he picked the wrong dude to really get mad, man. Like, I don't know.
But to bring it back around, I don't want to see Colton end up in that same.
Not to mention the fact that he's not even 18 until after the second race next year.
Right.
Ooh, nice stat. I like that. Way to pull that out, Mike. That's why you're here, Mike. That's a good stat right there. See, I would never known that. Nope.
That's what I'm here for.
I like it. Yep. Yeah. Finally showing your worth. All right.
Mike's actually big on racing astrology. I don't know if he told you about this.
Oh, I am.
He can name all of the people's zodiac signs, and how it affects their driving.
So, Mike,
we'll have a separate episode on that.
But just real quick, I mean, Aaron Telitz, I think he's a Gemini. Am I right?
It's the best one to be.
I have no idea. I don't even know what that is.
I love it.
What month star is a Gemini anyway?
Gemini, it just happens to be mine, so it's June.
It was
Googling this on the fly.
I didn't really care. I'm kidding. Messing with you. But I'm an Aquarius. That's early January, February. So, Christian, zodiac symbol.
Yeah,
Go.
but I'm a Libra.
Oh, right on. I have no idea what that means.
My birthday's this month. That's what it means.
All right on. Well, happy birthday.
Thank
Check
you.
your email.
Well, thank you, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm set. I'm early. Right on.
Yeah, you are.
Right on.
Get it out the way now. But yeah, I mean, Colton's got a background. He's got a pedigree to him.
And he does have Steinbrenner behind him too.
Yeah, and you'd like to see him stick around for a while and making the move. Obviously,
you like the legacies to stick around and to come in. Yeah, because I've been saying it for years. We need an unser in IndyCar. Sorry, they're out there. You know, they exist.
They're out.
They exist.
Are they aliens? They're not aliens, Frank.
No, they're people.
They're
with
out
the last
there.
name of Unser, and they're racing in other series. They need to be here.
Yeah.
I think the last one was who? The Unser, the fourth, I think.
Yep.
No, he didn't do so well.
Mm.
No. Obviously, he's not here. So. Yeah. All right. So Tony Kanaan, is he going to? No, I'm sorry. See, jumping. Yeah. Okay. Anything else from Indy Lights? Oh yeah, Kaiser won. Second was apparently Santi, with a late charge that I didn't follow at all. But I saw. Yep. Yeah. So that's what happens when you win a bunch of races at the end of the year. Yeah. You almost win, like you did last year. Ooh, burn. Ed Jones. Just everyone spanked you. Okay, so yeah. Anything else out of Indy Lights? Well, okay. How about this? I think Wes can catch this pass.
Just wish there were bigger fields, man. That's what I wish.
Yeah, bigger field. Will Shelby be back in Indy Lights next year?
I think so. Yeah, why not?
For who? Bilardi again?
Yeah, that sounds logical. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you got the money, you can be there, and we know he does. So he'll be there. Whether it's Bilardi or someone else, I guess is the question. Really.
Either way, I mean, yeah, he'll still be around for sure.
So one more.
I don't mind him. I don't mind him there.
No.
I just wish they were. Just wish there were bigger fields, man.
They're coming, dude. It starts at the top and works its way down. You know, I mean, IndyCar has been getting better and better every year. The series is growing, and then what happens? Everybody starts looking at who's coming in, right? And so it starts and ends at the top. So where IndyCar goes, MRTI will go. Indy keeps on going up, MRTI will keep on going up, I think. So there you go. IndyCar will have more teams next year. I think MRTI will as well. I mean, we seen a big surge come into USF, right? A couple new teams there, a couple new teams in Pro Mazda. One of the new,
but a couple teams went out too.
It's true. I mean, Newman Walks. I mean, like Newman Walks. It was. I hope they come back next year. Yeah, I really do. Will they? I don't know. I mean, they had a tough year. But okay, so
a lot of unexpected.
But yeah, I mean, but that's racing, That's
I mean,
racing is.
I think we had just about the same amount of teams that went out that came in.
Well, I mean,
in USF anyway.
Well, yeah, that's true, but then again, you have Pelfrey, who's got 4 cars to push out. You know what I mean? In every series, if they wanted to, really. I mean, Pelfrey seems to have like an unlimited amount of cars. I mean, Juncos is still going to stay. I mean, they're going to IndyCar, but they're not leaving MRTI. So I mean, you still got Carlin. So I mean, Carlin's pretty much Indy Lights now, exclusively it seems. But I think that's because he's going in an IndyCar. He'll be in IndyCar next year, so that's 2 new teams I'm banking on. I'm hoping, and another one that we know is coming in with Gabby, They're talking about adding another car. It just makes sense to have two cars. Because look, I mean, Ray Hall's an enigma of what he's been able to accomplish with the one car team. So I'm sorry, he is. Some races they get lucky and get it right. It seems like other races they get it really wrong, and you can tell. So
yeah, hey, but at least he's got a teammate for next year. At least,
yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's going to be Sato. Who saw that coming? Even though Andretti's staying Honda, I did not see that happening. I thought it was going to be one or the other. If one thing happened, the other thing would happen. But I didn't see Sato leaving regardless. Did anybody else?
Nope, not at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So and Foyt's talking about announcing their driver lineup literally as their two drivers cross the finish line at Sonoma. Larry's about to either fire them or tell them they're staying. Who knows? I think they're gone the way he was talking. Both of them, maybe. But, I don't know, he seemed to say a lot of really good things about Munoz, and he said one thing about Connor, take it good if you'd like. It sounded like, I don't know, it just sounded like, PR gibberish to me. Like, it's really amazing, how he's come on in this later half of the year. It's like, what? Of course you'll say that. Like, what are you going to say? He really sucked. Like, we were the worst team in the paddock, and it was because of these two bums. But really because of this bum. Like, he's not going to say that. He's going to, like, it was a corporate answer. That's what I call corporate answers.
Yeah, you got to.
But he didn't give a corporate answer for Munoz, just Daly. So that, I don't know. Reading that, you can take it for what you want. It's on Motorsport. Check it out. We retweeted it out already. And where can they find all that good stuff at, Mike?
The IndySportsCarPodcast.com.
That's right. That Mike is
I got it right this time.
Redesigning right as we speak. And,
yes.
It's going to look great. So, for your one stop for all our social media, which I know you're dying to get that. So, I'm kidding. But social media is where, it's just growing, getting bigger by the day. It's just how people talk anymore. Honestly, if it's not through DMs, it's you're sharing stuff, whatever. It's just getting great. So, and Twitter's about the best one, but Christian doesn't know that yet. But he's still on Facebook. He's still on Facebook. So, where can they find you out there, Christian?
I am. Yes, I'm on Facebook. My fan page, KRISTIAN, last name ALEIXO.
There it is.
And that's my fan page as well as my personal page. Feel free to add me on both. And let's chat. Let's stalk each other. Let's look at each other's lives. Detailed personal looks, into each other's lives, and we'll judge, we'll criticize, we'll do all the above. So
and I air his personal life out on here all the time. So.
And it'll be a good time. That's actually true, Frank. It's
because I do, so I just kind of say things. So whatever.
Absolutely.
You gotta be, can't be transparent. You gotta, people gotta know you. They don't know you unless they really know everything.
They really know. You're right. You're absolutely right.
And them knowing that your girl can pick you off at 300 yards with a Barrett and she rides a horse. What more do you need to know, folks? The man is blessed. So, and Mike's wife's name is Meg. So.
Well played.
Thank you. Anyways, let's move on to IndyCar, like we've been kept doing on every series of MRTI.
I mean, you kept doing.
Well, what's the point of MRTI to get to IndyCar? So sorry. Sue me.
He loves dragging us in, doesn't he, Mike? With his we, his all-encompassing we. As a unit. We, as a unit, decided to no.
No, it's just the fact I can't say the word "I" without stuttering very badly. You'll never hear me start a sentence with it.
Yeah.
So it kind of forces me to talk about other people to other people or whatever in that
Right.
way, shape, or form. But not about myself. So I'm always a team player. I never
Yeah,
sing
you
like.
So what did you think about Watkins Glen?
Well, Sunday, I was there way too freaking early. That's what I thought about it. The race itself, it was I gotta watch on TV to be honest, because being there is a different experience, especially when you're there.
You sound disappointed.
No, I couldn't see any of it really from where we were, but where we were. Thank you, Ed Jones. Appreciate that. Turn 10. What do they call it? I don't know. It's basically a wooden deck with free drinks and booze and whatever.
I'll be there next year.
VIP basically area there at Turn 10. And Ed Jones was kind of to give Missy Knights two wristbands to get in there, so that's where we watched the race from. And but pretty much watched it through your phone or you couldn't really see much. I mean, I videotaped a little bit of it. There wasn't much to see really, to be honest. So you guys could probably tell me better how it was than I could from being there, to be honest.
If I'm gonna give it a grade, because I know Christian is about giving letter grades on things. I would go with a solid B. It wasn't the most spectacular race of the season, but
It really wasn't.
it was solid, and some craziness with Newgarden and a total chaos coming at a pit lane there with everybody crashing into everybody else.
So who calls that?
I don't really know if power had any big influence on that.
Didn't look like it. He had the last pit stall, didn't he?
Yeah.
So how can you really influence anything when you're just driving straight low? Doesn't matter.
And I think it's too slow speeds.
Why, He took Newgarden took full responsibility for it. I saw his
Yep.
post about it. He's like, that's completely on me. So,
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
and I think it was.
you got to respect the man who'll take responsibility.
Yeah, and it was a hell of a drive by Rossi. He was what, fourth or fifth quickest at least almost every practice. Qualified for the pole on the very last corner, and then drove an awesome race, and was even able to recover from a fueling issue.
Right.
Yeah. What was the fueling issue anyway?
The hydraulic pump on the fuel. Christian, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the hydraulic pump. The little spot that opens for the fuel to come out was not working correctly. That's probably a horrible explanation.
Well, funny enough, every time Rossi has a pit fuel problem, he wins the race.
Should have them more often.
Yeah, because he basically won the Indy 500 because his fuel, whatever.
So yeah.
They had to replace the whole hose or whatever. And it sounds like the same problem again. They had to replace the hose, and he wins the race again.
Yeah, they were in between pit stops. They were working on replacing something. And were able, whatever the exact issue was, it was fixed by the time he had his last pit stop.
Yeah, and it just seems to work out for him. There wasn't many yellows during this race, I don't think, or was there any?
Although, there was, the Sato spin was one. There was one before that for somebody who spun. It's escaping me right now.
Now, because I know, so did everybody start on wets and then go to slicks like right away, like the second lap?
Yep. First lap.
Okay, because it wasn't raining, and it hadn't rained for like 3 hours. I don't know why they started on wets.
There was. You might not have been able to see it from where you were sitting.
Probably not.
But there was one spot on the track that was wet. It wasn't puddled or anything, but you saw the drivers kind of wiggle every time they went through there for the first 5 or 10 laps before it really dried out.
I mean, I saw Pagano, Pagano wheeling it through the bus stop all crazy because of the wet. So, I mean, because it was wet, I think. But I think that was a practice, wasn't the race. I think it might have been the earlier practice that day. So they did have a practice after the Pro Mazda guys, and the Pro Mazda guys, they were racing in the rain period. Yeah. So not only were we there very ungodly early, but with umbrellas, because it was raining. Yep. I know TJ spun, I think, right as the race ended. He, wasn't too good. But, so, right Christian, what kind of grade would you give the race?
B minus.
B minus, okay. Why?
Yeah, I'd go with B minus. I mean, you and I had talked about it a little bit ago that we weren't really too excited for Sonoma, but I think that's what messed me up for it. For me, I was expecting the Glen to be the last exciting race of the year, so I had really high expectations of it. Yeah, I expected it. I had really high expectations of it, and I don't know if it was because of the rain or whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it was because of the rain or whatever.
It was a really weird day. I gotta tell you, man. The feeling at the track was weird. It was just, it wasn't. It wasn't sunny. It was gloomy out. It was just like damp and it was. I can't explain it. It did not feel like a race day. Like it did not feel like a typical race day. You know what I mean there?
Yeah. I can. Yeah, I can understand.
There was no energy going through the place. It was just like dreary, like just ugh. That's what it felt like. Ugh. If I could describe.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it was yeah. No, I can understand that. I mean, and typically I like wet weather races, watching them anyway, and it's always interesting to me to see how people's different.
This wasn't really a wet race, though. That's what was so weird about it. Like it felt like a wet race, but there was no rooster tails. There was no, people sliding all over the place. There was. I think it was just everybody playing it as safe as they possibly could. Really.
It just didn't do it for me. This wasn't as exciting as I was hoping for.
Plus finding out your hotel triple charged you for 2 nights, about an hour before the race didn't help the feeling of the race day either.
Damn.
For me anyway. Yeah.
Damn.
I was pretty upset about that. Well, I was only 6 hours away from home, broke, because my hotel took all my money. It's okay. I'll get it back in 2 weeks. Don't worry about it. Oh, God.
You deserve better.
And what's weird is when we left, it was nice and sunny out and felt like were we just at a track? Very weird. Very weird. For our last race of the season, it was very odd. Very odd. Looking forward to next year. I'll tell you that much. All right. So okay, you guys give it a B minus. I have to still watch it really, and since I worked until 4 a.m. Yesterday morning, or whatever. That's why we're a day late, guys, because of me. The holiday screwed me. Labor Day screwed me up royally. Like it does not feel like a Wednesday or whatever it is right now. 12:04. So it's no Thursday. Does not feel like it. Okay. However, and then it's like Sonoma next week. Like, there's no anticipation for it. It's like, I mean, so what's okay? So let's just go over the.
Well, now I'm more excited for Sonoma than I was.
Yep. Same.
Why? Because of
why?
Because the fucking the freaking beep. Oh, now I got to edit something. Now I got to edit. Damn. Oh, I hate editing. No. Sorry, everybody. Earmuffs. Okay, so,
yeah, what were you getting ready to say though, bud?
I don't know. I just derailed myself.
All right, so I'm going to pick up here. Now that Dixon is down by just 3 points, Helio's back by, at 22, and Pagano is down by 34, if my math holds up here correctly.
Right, so
it's far.
DNFs, and
So yeah, it's more.
Pagano. I mean, Pagano needs a lot of help. Elio needs help. Dixon could take it if he wins.
But I mean, it's mathematically possible though, and that's what.
Oh, sure. Well, I mean,
counts.
we have 4 instead of 2 now. This
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
going into the most boring race of the year, Sonoma. You know, where the passing is plentiful and the speeds are tremendous. Oh. The only thing that's good about Sonoma is, for some reason, power always is good. So that's one good thing. And him and Dixon, I still love. You know, DeHardy gave it a moment of the year, was last year when Power, on purpose, saw Dixon coming out of the pits during practice, and on turn 1 there, drove off the track and just kicked all bunch of dirt all over him. So Dixon drives up next to him and gives him the wanker sign. That was great.
Oh, that was definitely the best moment of 2016.
Yep. And that's about what you get here. That's it. That's it. At this boring Infineon racetrack. So, you know, it's really, I think, who comes down to who qualifies the best. And Newgarden's not the greatest qualifier. Out of the top 4, who do you think's going to qualify the best? I think Pagano.
I was going to go with Helio.
Helio. Yep. We're on the same page here, Mike.
Okay, I mean, but Elio can, you know, also, you know, get the pole or get the pole. Pagano got it last year, so he can do it. But then you got Power, who really doesn't even have a player in this race now, and
No.
he can still take the pole away. So, and that's an extra point that Dixon could really use, you know, or even Newgarden. So, I mean, is it possible for Newgarden to get the pole? You guys think?
Possible, sure, but
yeah, anybody can get the pole. I guess it's possible. I mean, look at Rossi. He got the pole at Glen, and then he got the win. I mean, okay.
I mean, if you're saying it's possible, then it's possible that J.R. Hildebrand is going to get the pole on a road course.
That's what
when
I mean.
we all know it's
not
probably not probable.
Okay, let's say.
No, it's not probable, but it's possible.
Okay,
But
at
possible.
the end of Sonoma.
No, I don't think he's going to get it. Though.
At the end of Sonoma, is Joseph Newgarden going to be the champion of 2017?
I hope
Yes.
so. I mean, the dude's worked really hard this year, won a lot of races this year, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
it would suck to for it to all come down to that one mistake at Watkins Glen. That'd truly be
I'm going to predict another very bold pass that might ruffle some feathers between Newgarden, whoever is in front or behind him, in the last 10, 15 laps of the race.
So you're saying if Newgarden's in second and he has a chance, he'll take the guy out in front of him?
If he needs to do that to win, he will find a way to get it
If
done.
it's Pagano or Elio, his teammates, will he still do it?
Oh yeah, no team orders today, or no team orders on Sunday.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I love about Penske. Never team orders.
That's right, man.
Well, team orders don't exist in IndyCar. I mean, I love how Formula One, there's already team orders for Force India for the entire year. You're not allowed to hit each other. Like, should that be a team order? Should it? Honestly, do you need to tell your drivers this? Don't hit each other out there.
You don't. No, but I mean, obviously, big game situation like this, all the chips on the line, no holds barred, anything goes at that point. And to be honest,
Yeah, but you can't do it dirty.
Newgarden's kind of gained another layer.
I don't want to see someone win a championship on a dirty move, either.
I mean, hey, but that's the thing is that is it dirty or is it just racing hard? People argue that with you, but
Well, that Gateway movie made, that was dirty, but whatever.
That was racing hard, man. See, I'm one of those people who are going to disagree with you on that.
I know. That's why I said it.
That's racing hard, and that's.
I'm with Christian. It was a hard racing move, and if it was Pagenaud on that spot, he would have done the same thing.
I know.
Right.
I'm kidding.
Absolutely.
I would have done the same thing.
That's what's kind of cool, man. I think he added another layer. There's another layer to Newgarden that I don't think a lot of us realized he had. He's never had to be that aggressive as he was, at Gateway. And so now that I know he's capable of something like that, man, I don't think.
If you're in the lead and he's behind you, you better make sure you don't give him any room. But,
right.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, Power made sure of that in Pocono. I mean, how he almost drove off the
I learned
course.
Something there.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Power
learned a
taught.
Move after that. That was awesome.
Yeah, Power taught. I think every driver there how to race in oval in the lead.
Yeah,
at the end.
Put on the clinic.
Not for nothing.
Defensive driving clinic, right there for sure.
Yeah, Racecraft 101, Will Power, Pocono. There you go. Yeah, let me teach you guys how to win a race. See this guy? He's going to want to pass me. No, he's not, because I'm going to mess with him so bad right now. And Newgarden tried to go low and tried to stay with him. It wasn't happening. He literally almost, I think, didn't he just skirt the infield grass there at one point?
Yeah, from my vantage point, it definitely looked like it, but it was a little tough for me to tell.
Yeah, I mean, on the TV never mind, I'm not going to brag or anything. But I was watching on TV there. It was kind of hot that day.
It was brilliant, though, man. Absolutely brilliant.
But
way to be intuitive, way to be predictive.
I mean,
and just
everybody
being where the guy wants to go. Put yourself there first where he wants to go.
He faked the entire track out. He thought he made everybody think he had a problem and was about to start falling back. But no, it wasn't a problem. He was taking air off of.
Exactly, man.
He was making Newgarden just hit a wall of air every time he came up with two. That had to screw with him so bad. Like, wow, do I have a lot of grip all of a sudden? But I'm slow. No.
Genius, man.
Yeah, it was really great.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously stakes are now high for Sonoma. I'm way more excited about it than I was previously.
Well, you're more hopeful now because of it.
Let's see.
I don't know. I guess you're right. I guess I am looking forward more to it than I have been. And when these aero kits were going completely insane, 2015, right? 2014, the year they came out, and then 2015, when everybody was trying all these different variants, Sonoma was actually, exciting, because there was passing at places there was never passing before, because people were putting aero kits on that were just so much downforce that they were so freaking slow, or they got it right, and nobody knew what they had, because what did the Honda aero kit at one point have? 165 pieces or something.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah, remember that gigantic wing that Rahal had for a race? That was insane. It must have had 10 layers of fins. It's ridiculous. but yeah, that's when that race was actually exciting, and it fooled everybody. And then last year it was a snooze fest. And I'm like, yeah, this is what it should be when everybody's caught up. And they're going to be doing the same freaking thing this year, because they got the same thing as last year. So why wouldn't it? Or who knows? No, it'll be more the same, I think. So
hey, I don't think we expected Pocono to be like it was. So
that's true.
Never say never.
Good point, Mike. I like that. Good point. What do you think, Christian?
No, it's. I mean, I said everything I think about.
I was just
Who's throwing you a Wes Welker again?
No, not at all.
He loves doing that.
No,
He loves it.
I was trying to kind of like get get you say something at least before we end this game. I like to, I like to make sure everybody talks.
I'm
So
pumped.
I'm
excited.
That's my one talent. I get everybody talking, but unfortunately, it's what it's about is my problem that I need a handle for. The topic will change, but at least I'll make sure everybody gets their even time talk. Or I want to include everybody. I mean, come on. I think I have at least that gift going on. But as far as staying on task, it's impossible. So I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster, really. Yep. Missy, need you back next week. All right.
Leave you.
Mike
You're
is
dizzy and wanting to vomit by the end.
Well,
right? no, I'm kidding.
Exactly. Well, no. See,
It's like a roller coaster,
dude. At the end of the roller coaster, everybody's laughing, giggling, like, "Yay! We can't wait till next week." And that's what this.
No. There's that one kid that sat in the front who isn't.
No, they're the cripples, man. They get the front like right away. Oh, I didn't say that out loud.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm a cripple. I gotta, I get the park up front. Yeah. Also, not being able to walk is awesome. That's right. I say it, dude, because we went to Busch Gardens one year with my uncle Mike, and he had such a bad back, like he could barely walk right. And he was in the little scooter that they give you, and because he was, handicapped, he went to the front of the line every time. Because we were with him, we got the front car all the time, like every time. But as soon as we walk up, we're right on. That's why I said it. It's just from like experience. It was just a joke, everybody. You can joke about everything, really, as long as it's in the right context. I think I've proved that by now, or at least try to.
At least you think you did.
Well, that's I try. At least I go for it.
Fair.
I might fail miserably, and most of the time. But there are moments. I have my moments. Mike, we're still waiting for his. But Christian, I mean, he's always on though. Yeah, no, I'm kidding, Mike. Okay. Mike's like, I'm never coming on here again. That's what's going to happen. Guess what happened to your website that you pay $20 a month for? It's gone.
No, just wait till you see what's on it.
Oh, I can't wait. Just a parade of, oh no. if
Maybe some X-rated objects.
it better not be a waffle that's a different color. That's all I got.
Oh no! Oh no!
Did you get that reference there, Christian?
Yes.
Right on. and if you didn't, you can reach Mike at where? And he'll be happy to send you the link.
You can reach me on my social media, but please don't ask about waffles. And it is Mike_JOACHIM.
Nice. Yeah, don't.
I'm gonna get people to start tweeting
No.
Oh god, I love ending the show with somebody's just well-being harmed, I suppose. Good luck this week, Mike.
I'm very scared to open Twitter.
I know. Turn your notifications off. All right, so is there anything you guys want to touch on before we get out of here? I think we touched on enough, and then more as usual.
I think we're good spot heading into the finale.
Yep, heading into the last week of the Indycar season. That's too short. They need to add another race, make it longer. It seemed like it went by too fast. Well, real quick, Dale Coyne. I think I've asked you guys this before, but does he keep? He keeps both. He's keeping both, and Foyt. I think we talked about that. I don't think I need to go over it really. We've already kind of given our answers enough. I've asked. I know I've asked Christian this like 3 times. Have I asked you about it yet, Mike? about Coin for next year?
About Coin, I would not be surprised at all if he kept both Ed Jones and Bourdais next year.
That would not be a bad move. All right, so and I know Christian has also agreed with that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think we did, guys. Mike. Give yourself a C minus effort.
I'm going C plus.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, A plus always from Christian. Thank you, Christian.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, right on.
And also thank you ISCP for becoming a sponsor of my autobiography, My Life and Story: The Outside Groove by Cosby Media Productions, available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, and other fine retail establishments.
Yeah, we are happy to do it, and we're humbled to do it, and very.
Forward by Willie T. Ribs.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Thank you, man.
Right on. All right. So, and I guess Exterminator tomorrow, Mike? Goes a little bit too personal. So, yep. Crabs.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
Wrong way there. Wrong way.
Oh, okay. There's a song I would sing right now. I wish I could sing it if this podcast was that kind of podcast, but I won't. But just remember the Chappelle Show. That was funny. with the dancing. Never mind. That was big crabs. All right. So all right. I guess yeah. Somebody has to take us out on that note thing, because I can't do it.
I'll leave it for Christian.
Oh, he screwed it up.
You're missy this episode. Okay. All right. Well, Frank knows. Mike kind of knows. And everybody knows that I know.